Hi, this is Camilla Blossom. Thank you for joining me. We're going to do an earth ritual. I want to welcome Karen too, who's joining. And we talked about adding to this earth ritual. She's going to be making a flower essence or so where she is. And so we're going to bring a little energy into our ritual about working with the flowers as well. But I'll be sharing this, and we're going to be tuning into our core essence, that part of us that is nature too, that is that pure frequency of our own being. It's like we are flower essences too, right? We are our human essence. We carry a vibration, a frequency, a certain way that we our energy, and we can broadcast that and be like lighthouses for the energy we carry as well. So connecting more with our core, that core essence, we'll do some of that, and also unlocking and opening more of our magical nature. And I wanted to share this to invite you also to participate in my online course called Sacred Earth Connection. So this is a little introductory idea of the kinds of things you'll get to do in the course. I'm really excited. Karen is joined the course, and it's a self-study program. We will be doing some Zoom calls too to check in and talk and go through questions and have connection with me as well during the course. But if you'd like to learn more, we're going to talk about that after our earth ritual. And I know today is June 29th, and there's a lot of energy astrologically. I know the eclipse is coming up, but this is sort of a chance for us to ground ourselves a little more, to tune in, just be in a feeling of peace, and do some offerings in connection for the earth, with the earth. And where I'm sitting, I'm out on my lawn, and I'm right in what's called an Earth Mother portal. And it's a beautiful kind of energy, like some portals, if they're open and you really work with them in a good way, like caring for it, keeping good energies on the land, it really feeds this beautiful energy for this whole area, and we can sit here and feel it. So I invite you to start by just letting yourself connect with Mother Earth and start allowing this energy from here to enter your body where you are, wherever you are. So we're just going to ask permission from Mother Earth to open more to us. And imagine our heartbeats too. I'm going to drum for a moment here, and we'll just ask to connect our heartbeats with Mother Earth and each other and with all of nature. So there's a common heartbeat. And just let especially your root chakra, your lower chakras, just relax into the earth. And I know from what we all go through, being out in the world, just taking some time and relaxing your hips, your root chakra, the pelvis, that whole area, just really relaxing it into the earth. And just letting go of any feelings, things going on around you, outside of you. Letting that flow into the earth to be composted, and then allowing the energy of the earth to come back up into your body to fill you up. You can do that in your feet as well, imagining your feet growing roots into the earth, and then allowing that just gently to move back up into your body, that earth energy, which is so important. And then connecting with the heavens as well, calling forth the source energy, God, Goddess, Creator, the energy above, the divine, so that you can mix the energies in your heart and in your body. And know that you're a conduit of light going between heaven and earth, just letting that open channel that flows through your whole body, from your crown of your head to your root chakra, to be full of light and be open, circulating earth and heaven energy. Listen to the birds, they're all around. And connecting with the crystalline grid of the earth, just through your intentions, thinking about the energy that you're connecting, merging with her, deep down into the core of the earth, merging with the spirit of the earth, Gaia, Panchabama, whatever you call her, whatever you experience. And connect with that crystalline energy, and that's all the crystals that communicate with each other, because you are a crystal as well. You also broadcast energy. You are light. You're a crystalline water being. And so claiming your crystalline energy as well, like you are a crystal, and then connecting with the crystal of the sun and the great central sun, the crystalline grid. So we'll just align ourselves vertically. And so that's a vertical alignment. Now I'd like to have us do a horizontal alignment of the directions. So out in the lands all around. And I want to start by honoring and acknowledging the indigenous tribes and peoples that lived on the land where I am now, and also where Karen is and where you are on the earth. So you can think about the tribes or the peoples, or even if you don't know their name, just hold that love and acknowledgement for those spirits, those ancestors of land. So here I'm going to acknowledge and honor the Cowlitz, spirit, ancestors, the Chinook, and the Yakima, and any other tribal people, indigenous people that have cared for, been on this land through eons of time. Thank you so much for caring for the land through the generations. So I'm going to put a little tobacco on the altar here, and also intend that to be for your ancestors. You're welcome to do this later with tobacco on the land or some offering that you have. They like water. They're telling me you can use water. So I can feel the spirits of the ancestors with us, the beneficial, healed, and whole ancestors. And then to call in, I want to share a chant that is a beautiful way to connect with the elements and the elementals. So I'm just going to chant it, and feel free to join me if you like. Mer, which is myrrh for mermaid. or merman. Mer. So call in the waters and the water elementals. Fae. That's Fae for the air, the fairies and sylphs. Fae. Pele. So Pele is for the fire, dragons, salamanders, beings of the south. Pele. And then gnome. Gnome. To honor the gnomes, the ancestors, the stones and rocks, the teachers and elders, the north. So the north, south, and east, west, we honor the directions and the elements. And I've set up this altar using my land honoring kit, and I thought it would be fun to just share doing an altar and an offering for the land, for the earth. And in this earth ritual, we'll do some specific offerings. We'll check in and see what Mother Earth is needing at this time. Of course, I like to start with the opening that we just did is an opportunity to be grateful, to be in that state of love and gratitude. So holding that is really the most important intention we can have. So we'll send our love from our hearts and that synchronized heartbeat. Send our intentions, gratitude, appreciation. Think of the things you love so much about the plants and the animals and the landscapes and the mountains and the rivers and the waterfalls, all the beauty, the lands and waters and ocean. And here at this portal is a place for Mother Earth to receive. Portals are not only a giving energy out, but they also pull it in. So I've noticed that she like wakes up more being here. So for anything that you're feeling, we'll send to her into the earth and to her elementals and fairies and nature spirits and all the plants and trees and animals and stones, everything of earth. But our offerings are food and nourishment and love. And they're a beautiful physical way to show that you're caring. And my experience is that it's always reciprocal. We always receive back what we give 1,000-fold. So I've set up, I just put out some crystals. I have some quartz crystals which really amplify the energy of love and what we're sharing here. Karen's bringing her beautiful energy from the Four Corners area as well. I have a fairy crystal that's ametrine, I think. So it's amethyst and citrine. I have some fluorite. And the water beings really like pearls. So I have some little freshwater pearls in case they want that. And then in my kit, I have some elemental essences, and I have flower essences. I have 5 different flowers, or one's a gem, Herkimer diamond. And then I love using mica. This is a natural glitter. The fairies love it. The nature, you're not like leaving something that's polluting, but you're bringing something natural, and it's just really glittery and fun, and all the elementals love it. So we'll be using some of that, and also sound as an offering. And also, if you're doing this on your own, either with me or after, you can just tune into what offerings feel good that you want to offer. You can also ask, like you can use a pendulum and ask the earth what she wants. So I thought I'd just demonstrate by using that and see if there's any elemental essence that might be nourishing for her in this ritual. And I'm getting there is one. So 2 are coming up stronger, and it's water and earth. And I also noticed that when the different elements come forward, it's also an invitation to work with those. We are working with this earth portal, so that feels really appropriate to honor the earth energy with these frequencies, which are made in a unicorn garden with different flowers and plants and energies that honor the gnomes and the earth elementals. But let's invite the gnomes in too. And just, I like to welcome them using rainbow energy from my heart to them, to extend invitation for them to come and be with us here. So you can do that, invite them closer to you. And the water will invite the mermaids, mermen, the undines, the spirit of the water that may be deep in the ground where you live, or if you have waterways nearby. Whereas Karen collects rainwater, which is beautiful to drink. So I'll invite them in as well. And oh, one more crystal, the apophyllite is a great fairy crystal that really connects us with the fairies. So I'm thinking, because that apophyllite has such a good kind of distribution energy, I'm gonna put the offering of the earth, just drops right on the altar right there. And if you want to just for a moment with me, I always like to tune in to see if you can feel the energies. So I'm going to start making some of these offerings and just invite you to tune in and connect and offer these to your land too. We'll send it out to your land too. That was the earth. I'm going to do the water one. I don't know if you could feel that. I could feel the Mother Earth kind of relax a little when we gave her the earth one. Like being acknowledged and just made peaceful, even if it's just right here, it helps. It's like her body, a place on her body that we can harmonize. And then when I did the water essence, I felt the water beings playfully share their energy, and they were asking for a pearl. So I'm going to put a pearl out here on the altar too, and later there's a little water feature over here. I'll put it in. And I'm going to check the yeah, I also have cards that go with the kit, and that makes it easier. You can just pick one. So I thought, oh, let's try picking one. Oh, That's cute. We got the water elemental one. So let's pick one of the flowers, since we already did the elements, or trees. Let's see if she wants any of these. Yarrow. No, Karen and I were just talking about yarrow. So I'm going to put some drops of yarrow and then invite this also into your own energy so you can broadcast it. And then for the land. So I might take a little and then put it on the land. It feels like it connected us with some of the ancient energies deep in the earth, the ancient wisdom, the grandmothers. And so I thought we could do a little meditation now from this offering and tune in a little more deeply to our own essence, our own magical nature, open and unlock anything that we might need in places that maybe want to be more connected to the earth and nature. So you can just, get comfortable and close your eyes. And invite you to just move more deeply into where you feel you can connect with your core essence. Even like where your portal, where your receptive place, just like the Mother Earth we've been feeding. And letting yourself merge with her energy and bring her energy in to support you and hold you and nurture you in this process. She wants you to feel safe and held and comforted. And so moving into that place, your essence, it's very subtle. So you may not experience a lot of sensation, but whatever you sense there, it could be some color or light or a space, just an open space. Just allow yourself to be present with that part of you that is your divine and earthly frequency of you, your body, your spirit, your soul. And send love from your heart to this place. Just send love. You can even see that as rainbows going towards your core essence, that place of your beauty, your gifts, your self-expression, your light. You can see it as a light, and that as you bring attention to it, like you would for a little fire, adding kindling, that as you bring a little tension and intention, you can feed that place within you, and it can grow stronger, maybe bigger, but definitely stronger or brighter or more clear. And letting that place radiate, even being like a lighthouse, that you are the body, the core of the lighthouse, and then your light your essence gets to shine and be bright wherever you are. And the earth supports that. The earth loves that. Your joy, your light. The birds are happy to experience your light. The gnomes and myrrh, all the beings are with you and celebrating that you are expressing your energy frequencies in the world. And that's really the most important thing. Just you being you. I'd like to invite you to welcome any fairies, gnomes, myrrh, nature spirits, Mother Earth herself, to bring in any frequencies that you might need from her, from nature. If there's any places within you that have kind of shut down any magic or kind of hidden it or haven't felt safe to express that, or there might even be some lineage gifts, magic in your ancestry that was shut down during certain experiences of history, of your grandfathers or grandmothers in their lifetimes. We're just going to ask for the nature beings to help bring more light, bring more energy to those places. Like calling those back, retrieving, reclaiming any of the magic, even the magic from your childhood. Think of a time, a memory where you felt magical, you felt connected, you walked barefoot on the earth, you dove into the waters. You felt the love and excitement of being on the earth, being in connection, experiencing the fairies and energies around you. And we'll just let Mother Earth and these beings work on us, bringing these frequencies and light. And just imagine them going through your whole body and washing you with this, your cells and the spaces and anywhere that needs more love and support with this divine and earthly light. Anything that needs to unlock or be released, we'll just gently allow that to be so. And if there's any messages or guidance coming in from the earth or from the nature beings, you can open to that for a moment, just in completion. As soon as I did the bell, I can hear the chimes go. So I invite you to come back and continue to shine your light, radiate your essence, be a lighthouse. We'll continue to allow these beings to work with you. Even after we release the circle, they can still move through your energy system and do healing. So they can continue that until they're complete. So that's one of the beautiful gifts that we receive when we connect this way in reciprocity with the earth and nature, is we we get to offer and give, and the delight in being generous and caring and giving and tending. And then also we get to open and receive in that deep way, that because they know we care, there's a great care that is returned. So thank you for joining me for this ritual. I'd like to open it up and have Karen, if she'd like to share anything, that would be wonderful. And also give an opportunity for any questions, Karen, you have about the course. I know you've signed up. I might share just a little bit more about it for those who are curious. And I'm also available to for more questions, and you can learn more about the course at my website, camillablossom.com, and or through me. Okay, so Karen, would you like to share anything? Thank you for being here.
That was
I know
lovely.
our Zoom call got a little messed up with to get on here, so I'm happy that you got here.
I'm
You
happy
made
that I
it.
got to. It was lovely. It's a lovely ceremony. Thank you for including
Oh
me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's interesting how the yarrow came up.
yeah. Oh yeah, let's do that. I totally spaced that out. Let's do a little prayer
Yarrow,
for the plant. Karen do you want to share anything else before we do that, or?
oh, just that, I could just preface it that, this morning when I was out meditating, I noticed thistles were blooming, and we have to kind of keep an eye on the thistles here because they can really get out of control, and it really bothers me to have to do anything about them. I eat them, I drink them, and put them in my green drinks and everything. But these are mostly don't have too many leaves on them, but they have the flowers are blooming. And so this morning I was thinking, well, maybe I should think about making a flower essence with those blooms. And knowing that the lunar eclipse is coming up in a few days, I thought, well, maybe that would be a sweet time to make an essence. And then I also noticed the yarrow. And so this is what Camilla and I were speaking about just before the ceremony started. So yeah, it would be nice
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
them.
before we close the circle. Thanks for reminding me. I totally, yeah. So a beautiful practice is to make flower essence medicine, and Karen was talking about the thistle, and then also she's allowed to bloom in yarrow. And so if we want to just go in for a moment and really connect with those plant spirits, devas, fairies, however you like to call them, that consciousness of these teachers, these allies, these healers, these beings, they're very conscious beings, these plants that are all around us, the flowers and trees and grasses and all of it. So I want to honor them. And they do ask for our gratitude. They're such givers. So if we can just spend a moment of giving our gratitude to the plant realms, all these spirits. And we'll open and extend. I like making offerings. Here, we'll do some of the mica. We haven't done that yet. And give an offering to these plants that Karen would like to create an essence with, the thistle and the yarrow. And giving an offering of thank you, and also asking permission of the plant if it would like to make that medicine with her. So we'll just hold that space for her to ask. And they often get very excited, but it's really important to ask plants and all the beings of spirit to work with them. They feel really happy to me too.
Yeah.
And what are you getting from them?
I'm getting also, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they often are really happy, but they do appreciate, even though they often say yes, to appreciate they do have different timings when they would like it made, how they would like made. Sometimes they like to have crystals made with them in the water or next to the bowl.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I
Yeah.
was thinking crystal or something in there. I have different stones, but I was thinking crystals, and then I was wondering even about the amethyst, possibly, or something.
Yeah, amethyst is great. What you can do is, yeah, ask the plants when you're making them, or you could bring out your crystals and say, oh, are there any that are, you can even make an altar around them with crystals. And then if you feel like one wants to actually go in the water with the essence, you can put the crystal in with the flower, because that'll kind of ground it more. Crystals work more with the physical body organization. The flowers tend to work more with spiritual, creative forces. And so, I mean, they both work with both, but there's a little stronger affinity, let's put it that way. So that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
yeah, so I think you're open to them now, just doing this little prayer, and so you can talk to them, connect with them, and kind of work with them for a few days even, and even sit with them. And then when it feels like, oh, it's time, then bring your bowl of water and put it out. Yeah, I was talking to Karen about the importance of when you make flower essences. I've made hundreds since 2000, so learn different things. But the permission was a very strong teaching from the flowers at the very beginning and from the spirits of land. So it's also nice, like what we did with the honoring of the land ancestors, and the other beings of land. Like when you honor, the land and the plants, then you'll have really uh, powerful and effective medicine. So, yeah. Was there more questions about the essences? I know we talked about some of that, but feels good. Yeah.
There was another one, but I'm not recalling what it was at the moment.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll come in. Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the course?
Sure. Yeah, I guess to start with, if you have anything that you would like to ask, I'm happy to answer. And then I can also just share a little bit about the different parts. Probably not a lot of time, but just if anyone wants to know a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Looks.
Go ahead and
Okay.
share about the parts.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, and also to explain like how this course came to be, that might be a good information as well, that I really started my journey working with flower essences and being called by the Devas and fairies and spirits of land to the Columbia River Gorge, to these places, to make essences of the wildflowers and the trees and the different energies there. And so that was my first kind of opening to working deeply with the land and nature. And so basically since then, my immersion process for 2 decades has been learning from the land, learning from those who are very connected with the land, the grandmothers and grandfathers, the elders, the indigenous people, Lemurian ancestors, my own ancestors, the animals. The plants are such beautiful teachers as well. And so as I went along my path, I kept meeting these different elementals as well that were teaching me how connected, learning about the fire, the earth, the air, the water, and the beings, the gnomes, the mermaids, the fairy realms, going deeper into what is really my lineage as a Celtic European ancestry, that those are really informing all my work with nature, with plants, with my own body, how to heal, how to be healed, how to understand and experience this world, this beautiful world that we're in. So a lot of it is, this course is really informed from many years of experiences and practices and learning from nature, and my curiosity and joy at these experiences, and wanted to bring this forward to help others learn some different joyful practices that they can do. And by doing these practices, then we really open more. It's sort of like bringing our physical, like I've tended to be more of a spiritual, like into the spirit land, but the more I worked on the land, making the offerings, doing the practices, going to the waters, doing the ceremony and the ritual, the more joy it was, the more I learned, the more I grew, the more I healed. And so I'm kind of like really combining a lot of the spiritual, subtle energy, frequency, energy medicine practices with very grounded practices of how to use sound, how to ask permission, how to really honor the indigenous people that were here before, how to work with the fairy realms, how to lay altars, where to put them. So there's lots of different fun practices. And the way I set this up that I thought would be helpful, just because people learn in different ways, is by having videos where kind of like this, where I'm sharing different things, how to do things, what it means, and also audio, so you can listen to meditation, learn about opening your intuition, because a lot of it is about developing your intuition. And I also have writings. I love to write, and the writings are really embedded with the energies of the grandmothers, of creation, the spirits I work with. It's very energetic. It's like, my friend was calling it like a codex, like the light codes are embedded in all the teachings. So as you read them, as you listen, as you see, and then as you practice the joyful practices yourself in the ways that feel good for you, just something happens. It's like there's this kind of awakening, initiation, a joyful expression. And I think it's also, my intention is to help you get clear about your own excitement, about what it is about nature that excites you. So let's say you start working with the mermaids and like, oh my gosh, the water healing is amazing. Like that's kind of an indication for your purpose. Maybe you're a water keeper and can step deeper into that kind of work. Or if you love learning about the fairies and the elementals and the world of the fairy realms, then there may be more work that you can learn about and do grids for the fairies and do your gardens for the fairies. So it's also like an opportunity to grow in awareness, open your intuition, and then learn practices so you can learn more about yourself in like what Karen and I have been talking about too, the reciprocity. Like the more we do these practices, the more it comes back to us. And I'll have to say, since I've been on this path, I've really been on it for 30 or so years. I mean, I know in childhood I was in the traipsing in the Adirondacks of New York State, but kind of returning to that later, well, in my late 20s, I guess. So for a long time, and realizing the things that really fulfill me the most. And I think for a lot of people taking this course and connecting here with us, we're very empathic and sensitive and often healers and light workers, and having tools and things to help our bodies as well, because of course we'll also work with our physical bodies, connection, but just finding things that help us be more aligned, help us find more joy, more connection. And I guess for me, just like really feeling fulfilled. Like there's something about connecting with nature, connecting with the different spirits of the plants, or connecting with the feeling of the earth, or having an experience where the wind comes up when you do something with a gnome. It's like, those are like why I live, right? There's just something really amazing about the opportunity for magic and synchronicity and all that. So I guess that's kind of what came through for right now.
So the different modules,
Mm-hmm.
what the topics of the different modules?
Yeah, I can just share a little bit on that. So to start with the first part, and you can actually go on my website and look at the intro. So for those who want to just take a look at that, the intro gives a little bit of background too. And then the first there's 8 parts, and the first one is about opening the doorway. And I tend to be how I work energetically. It's kind of like how shamanic and wisdom teachings of the grandmothers, they often come through very energetically and as initiatory experiences. In other words, you're opening a new doorway and stepping into new fields of energy, new experiences that really can shape you and change how you experience life in a good way. And so the first one is like really setting intentions, opening doorway, and then connecting more deeply with Mother Earth and exploring that relationship with her. And then the second one is for honoring Indigenous native lands and how we can do practices. And these teachings are coming from the Indigenous people and how they would like us to do it. So I thought that was a beautiful way to share their voice and how we can start doing these practices. And some, like in Canada, they do all the time, but in the US, like we're really slow about them. So I'd like to see more and more people use these in their, in business even. I know a college professor in Canada, and she says on everything she writes, all the letterhead, all the things, she has to say, we acknowledge and honor the Indigenous tribes and name them for the land that the university's on. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that awareness alone is huge and honoring. So I'd really like that practice to spread. So I'm part of the spreading of it. And then we go into sacred body energy alignment practices to work with our own bodies for alignment, energy medicine practices to connect us, that our bodies are earth as well. And those are fun and really helpful to align ourselves with spirit and the earth energies. And we're going to do the part 4 is tools and techniques, and we work with sound and flower essences and the pendulum and crystals, and learn how to work with different tools for the land, for healing, for yourself. So those are fun to learn. Then we go deeper into the offerings and permission teachings, which can sound really simple, but the man that I learned quite a bit from, Marshall Jack, Golden Eagle, he has really strong feeling that helped me understand the strength of permission teachings. They're a whole body of teachings that are really core and foundational for any work that we do with spirit and the earth. And even if you're a very spiritual person that doesn't do a lot of earth work, you're going to find out that you need to be very much in your body and very connected to earth, or you're not going to be able to do the spirit work, because they're all connected. And it's really important for us to be grounded with a solid grounding foundation in order to reach high and do the higher spiritual work, or whatever we want to call that, the planetary spiritual work. And then we'll be doing work with the spirits of land. So learning to connect with fairies, elementals, dragons, devas of land, of houses. So you start to open to actual spiritual beings, and that's fun because you get to engage in different ways and have relationships, new relationships. And you can kind of see who you resonate with. You may not resonate with all the ones that you meet, but certain ones, like, oh my gosh, I totally love working with the devas or the gnomes, or so that's a fun exploration. Then part 7 is about honoring water, and you learn some water ceremony and how to sing to the rivers, and really sweet medicine for ourselves as well. And then the last one is kind of bringing the altar teachings together, and also practicing, you go along the way and do a lot of rituals, but then the last one is a whole ceremony. You put together all the different things you learned along the way, and there's a checklist, so you can kind of learn the practice of creating your own ceremony, a fuller ritual that uses a lot of these practices. And we can do that for your land. So you kind of come away with a lot of skills and tools and things that you can, even do land honoring practices or other people as part of what you offer too. So it can be even a training for your career as well. Yeah, so those are parts. And as I was sharing with Karen too, I really like to connect with the people taking the course. This is the self-study course, but there's opportunities for the self-study one. We'll do periodic Zoom calls, kind of like this, where we get a chance to connect with each other and ask questions and talk about what's working or what you need help with or how your land is, this kind of thing. And then if you feel you want further support, like I do individual mentorship, I do a mystery school, both online and in person, that starts in the fall. So those are other opportunities for more supported teachings. Yeah, so it's just a really beautiful opening to awareness. And those that have taken it just have expressed that. I have some testimonials on the page too. And we even have, it was really cute, and I was working on the material to share this update of the course. My friend Lisa kind of got messages from a fairy queen, and she was talking about me and what I'm like in the fairy kingdom, or and it was so cute because, sometimes we can see like, have ideas of success, even like how successful the course is or how many people, or, those kind of things that we do in our lives. But then in the fairy realm, the fairies are saying, you're already successful, Camilla. Like the course is like awesome, because I've been working on this for years, over the years. It's like taken a long time. I was in Hawaii for part of it, really dedicated a lot to bring this into a format that's organized, that's user-friendly, that's fun, that's joyful, that's meaningful. So it's kind of fun to hear from the fairies' point of view. This is highly successful. And from those who've taken the first round, there's about 22 people that took the first round of it when it was called Land Honoring Foundational Practices. And so this is like a whole update of that. So.
Oh, it sounds fun. It sounds exciting. It sounds like a really nice course. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank everyone for coming to the ritual and learning a little more. And feel free to let me know if you have more questions. But have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thanks. Thanks, Karen. So the recording's off. So yeah, thank you so much. I feel like that's a really great recording just to share it a little more broadly, like how it works and what's in it. So thank you for showing up. And we'll have on July 10th, I think you got probably the email. We'll be doing another. I know that Petra will join us then, and maybe Elisa will. And if there's others by then that joined. So. Okay, bye.